Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the day 4 of the Data Cloud Bootcamp. Thanks to you all for joining the session. This bootcamp is for everyone who wants to learn Data Cloud. It could be for a beginner and also for those who wants to deepen their skills in the Data Cloud and also for those who wants to clear the certification. So we have done three sessions successfully. The first one included the Data Cloud overview. The second one, the implementation use cases and the life cycle of the Data Cloud. And the third one, Data Cloud setup. And in this session, we're going to look at the Data Cloud administration aspects. So we'll look at the packaging, the data kits, so many things that go into the administration of the Data Cloud. So we have our guest, Gaj, here. Gaj is from Salesforce and he's been on the, he's been training on the Data Cloud for some time. So if you have attended his previous sessions, I'm sure this session is going to be helpful. And for this bootcamp, we have 3 Salesforce certification vouchers as a swag and 1 swag item for those who are in US. So we will be identifying the swag winners at the end of the bootcamp, that is the 12th day of the bootcamp. And after this bootcamp, we have 2 other series planned, which is the deep dive sessions. That will be an in-depth analysis of the use cases and see how that can be implemented. And also anything that we couldn't have covered in this certification focused bootcamp, we will be including all those sessions in the deep dive sessions. And another one is the Data Cloud workshop. So Data Cloud workshop is completely driven by Vlad, and we have a few sessions wherein you can build with us. We are trying to look at options on how you can get the Data Cloud org. So if not, if we can get the org, it is well and good. If not, you can follow along and see how that can be implemented in the Data Cloud. And the session is going to be recorded and it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel at the earliest possible along with the slides. So the slides you can find in the description area of the video. And please be sure to register to all the further upcoming sessions as well. I will keep adding all the sessions as we have the speakers confirmed. Any questions, please post them in the chat window. So we will answer at the end of the session. And any questions that are not related to this session, I will share the form for the Ask Me Anything panel. Please fill that form out so we can answer those questions during the Ask Me Anything panel. And I do have, so I wanted to get your inputs on one thing. So we have been doing the quiz before the session, like 5 or 10 minutes prior to the session, but I wanted to take a pause and check with you all and make sure that the quiz is helpful to you and if it is beneficial to do it during the session, or if I can create notes and send it and share it over the Slack. So I would like to get your inputs. So depending on that, we can have the quiz part for the next sessions. And as we have seen, the Data Cloud admin and the setup together takes 12% of the questions on the exam. So this will cover around like 8 questions or so. In today's session, Daji is going to take over and deep dive into the admin aspects of the Data Cloud. So Dash, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your knowledge with us. This means a lot to us. I will turn it over to you, Gash. Dash, if you're talking, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Josna. Hope I'm audible now and the audio is fine.
Yes.
Okay, great. So before I get started with this session, there's just one message from my side is that right now for Data Cloud, there's no dearth of content around. But like what is like really important is to have a more systematic and a more well designed approach for learning. And the boot camp like this really provide a great opportunity. So yeah, thanks Josna for getting all the experts around and putting together a well-crafted series for learners to get from the starting point of data cloud right till the expert. So I think that will really help all of us as we move forward. Yeah. So this is about me. I work with Salesforce, focus on data cloud, cross cloud, and a couple of other products at Salesforce, and help our practitioners to get up to speed and talk more about the latest use cases, best practices, so on and so forth. So today I'll be talking more about the data cloud admin. Yesterday or day before, in fact, Deepti would have spoken about the data cloud setup from the certification point of view. And today I'll be talking more about the admin side of things. Like Deepti told, you can put your questions in the chat or Q&A window. We'll be looking on those questions in regular interval. So please feel free to keep on putting your questions, and I'll be answering them as soon as possible. This is a forward-looking statement. This is actually a third prep session, but then with Data Cloud, there are like so many new things coming up, and we will be talking a lot about through our demos and the live org. So the messaging out here with this particular slide is that Salesforce is a publicly traded company. So any kind of buying and purchase decision for any of our products should be based upon the features which are currently available. So please go through those features with the help of the sales team, the account executive, and then make a final call be before you make a purchase or advise someone to do the same. So this is how the agenda looks like. We'll go through a quick demo of Data Cloud around the admin side of things. Then we'll talk about reports, dashboards, and flows. That how do these helps? How do flows help when there's certain kind of error which comes up? uh, what is the audit trail kind of functionalities in data cloud. Then we'll talk about packaging and data kits. That is, you have done the implementation for data cloud on one org. Now you want to move it to some another org, how you can create managed packages and move your implementation from one org to the another. Then we'll talk about data profile, data explorer and profile explorer. So basically what happens here is that you have your data coming in from data streams, calculated insights, so on and so forth. So how do you visualize them on data cloud, and what kind of APIs do you have within data cloud for either building on data cloud like from ISV solutions or connecting data cloud to your other data lakes and so on and so forth. So basically this would kind of cover for you your the setup and admin section for exam preparation. Yeah. So uh, here we go, and we'll first get started with the demo of data cloud. So this is what how data cloud looks like. And this is my non-home org implementation. So people who were there in the previous session, they would have seen that you can either have data cloud within the home org, that is, I'll have sales service cloud also in the same org, or what I can do is I can have data cloud in a non-home org like this and have sales and service cloud into some another instance. So like both are possible, and based upon the business need, we actually go forward and uh, choose one of these approaches. So basically on the top, what you can see is that you can have the data stream that from where all the data is coming. So you see all data streams. So these all are my data stream, which means I'm getting, so basically for my use case, which is being done here, I'm using contacts, accounts for my B2B or B2C use cases. I'm actually going in and using S3 bucket also to kind of go and get my data from point of sale devices. So I'm using S3 bucket, and I'm also using the MuleSoft connector with Data Cloud to get it through ingestion APIs. So I'm getting data from all of these sources, and I'm getting it through CRM with a couple of other uh, destinations or sources. So I go through all of these sources, create my data streams. You can see that the number of records being processed. Then I go and create data lake objects from these, and then finally data model object. So basically, it is nothing but how your data quality is improving from bronze, silver to gold. And now with DMOs or data model objects, I have got these data streams connected with one another, like how you can see here. And I can actually go in and connect them and create a graph kind of view for my multiple streams, and then bring them together into data cloud. Okay, this is how they look like after properly being connected. So I won't go much into details because there's a lot to be covered in the upcoming sessions, and everything will start making more and more sense as we move forward. But nutshell, yes, we are getting data through data streams, put them into data lake objects, connect them together with DMOs, and once we would have created the DMOs, we'll actually go into identity resolution, create our rule sets, and we'll actually go through our rule set and actually look through or create rules. So for example, for me the rule is, if my name and email, or my name and my phone number, like one of these are like kind of uh, similar, then I should be considered the same human being. So I'll give you a good example. So I came into the website through Sisodia, and email as gaj@gmail.com. I came into the store as uh, Gajendra Sisodia, and the email as gaj@gmail.com. With this kind of logic, basically, data cloud will find out that, hey, it's the same human being, because my name is kind of same with the fuzzy logic. It is not exactly the same like Gaj and Gajendra, but with fuzzy logic, I was able to understand that yes, both are the same human being, like Chris and Christopher, something like that. And then they will consolidate me into one single unified record. So like that, it will actually go in and they will try to put together all my information together, which I can use, create segments from there. I can run segments on my unified profiles, and then based upon it, go and activate them into my activation targets like Marketing Cloud. And once my Marketing Cloud activation target is ready, it will go in there. So this is retail view, or the view where in my shared Salesforce data extensions, my data would be going in, and I can go in there and take my segments and activate them. Now, what happens more is, suppose I would want to create the lifetime value for my unified profiles. That is, I would want to do some operations on the unified profiles coming out. So I can use calculated insights, and that would help me go in and kind of do some sort of cumulative points, sum of points kind of operations. And what would then happen is, like whatever kind of purchase which I would have done on the website and on the brick and mortar store on the point of sale device, both will get summed up and they will be coming up under calculate insight, something like that. So that happens here. Now you want to take some actions on CRM based upon the activities coming up in data cloud. So I think you can do the same here as well. So what could be one good example would be that as soon as my sum of points goes beyond 1,000, change the lead status, or put a note, or change one of the field in CRM about that particular contact or lead. So that I can do so through data action targets and take those data out from here into CRM. Okay. There is more what is out here in terms of data transforms. That is, you can get in the data and make required changes based upon the patterns and the styling. You can have some sort of logical partitioning within the data. That is, the good example would be you have got marketing cloud and you have got multiple BUs, business units. So data from multiple GOs or business departments put into be separate BUs. Similarly, here you can have data spaces. So you can choose a data space as per the geo or the department style, and it will kind of contain the data within that specific data spaces and will not be shared across the whole enterprise. So that's a great way to kind of contain data and put it into isolated kind of way based upon the business requirement again, right? For bring your own model kind of things, I can use Einstein Studio. So I can connect SageMaker. It's not connected here, but I can connect my SageMaker and I can go in and kind of bring those uh, what to say, the model output into data cloud, and I can dig and I can use those output into my segments and all. We have got reports and dashboards, something like this. So I can go create a new report, and what I'll find is there'll be a type called data cloud reports. So I can use that and get started like this. So I've got the reports which are being built on my DMOs, my data model objects. So I can go and use one of these reports and then get started. I can also use the same for my dashboards, like the way we do it. And data share is like you'd want to again go out and export or bring out your data objects from data cloud to other destinations. You can use data share targets. So this is how the data cloud looks like from the outside. If you go into the setup part and click data cloud setup, what you will get is, yeah, so I can go and do configuration for like multiple places from where I would want to kind of connect uh, say like those orgs like marketing cloud org back into data cloud and all those things. I can use data kits in terms to you know uh, bring or move the configuration from this data cloud instance to the another one. I just have one default data space, but if I have many, I can act, or if I have license to get many, I can actually go and create multiple data spaces out here. And this is like the features manager wherein you can go and see like any other new feature being coming out, all those things. So this is how the setup screen looks like for the admin to actually get started and put in there. Okay, so for someone who is just kind of starting off with their data cloud journey and going to write a cert, I think this would be a decent way to have a look into, okay, what exactly is data cloud, what kind of multiple uh, facets it has, and how we can actually go in and kind of use each of these based upon our requirement. The only two which were left was Data Explorer and Profile Explorer. So if I go to Data Explorer, this is my only default data space. I can choose DLOs, DMOs, calculate insights and all. So maybe I can choose, say, one of the data model object and choose unified individuals or something like that. So maybe I'll actually choose uh, unified individual. And what would then happen is that I will actually get what are all those unified individuals which were calculated or which were derived from this instance. On the other side, we have got Profile Explorer, which only works on the unified individual, which means if I go to default, just choose this unified individual, and I can see all the profiles that we need to kind of search, and we need to understand for our implementation and then use it forward. So on the data explorer, as you can see DLOs, DMOs, colored insights, graphs. On Profile Explorer, it is just the unified individual, and then we can actually go in and search for a certain individual ID, first name, last name, and then bring it out here. And based upon what we need to see, we also can actually add columns or remove the columns from this. So that's how we are using Data Explorer and Profile Explorer. So I'll actually take a 1 minute or 2 minute break here just to have a look into our Q&A section. I know Jyotsna is doing a great job to answer them in an async manner, but I'll just have a look at it if something is pending for me.
Yeah,
And
thanks, Yash. So I just answered one question, wanted to get your inputs on that as well. Is there any limit on the number of data spaces in an account?
uh yes, so like you mentioned 50, and that's correct, Jyotsna. Again, because what is happening here is that uh, everything what we are kind of building on data cloud is being built on Hyperforce, and it will have implications on the database. So there is actually a limit which is 50 as of now. And again, if suppose you are saying that, hey, my customer has got a use case which would require more than 50, possibly your account team can actually go and work with the engineering team and get the best response. But yes, 50 is the limit right now on the number of data spaces which you can have onto a data cloud account.
That helps. Thanks, Kash. I have one more. What's the difference between data action targets and activations?
Okay, so basically activation is more like a marketing term what we are looking at. So if I go into activation targets, let's see what all activation targets I've got. So I've got the interaction studio, marketing cloud, our S3 buckets, right? So what we are doing here is that once my unified individual is ready, I can go and create segment on top of it. And then if I had say like 5,000 unified profiles, and my result was say like 200 uh, population into a certain segment, I can go and take those 200 folks onto one of these activation targets for marketing or for email sending purpose or for some other purpose, even for say like report building, and we can work out there. Data share on the other side, if I go and create a data share target, basically what I'm doing here is that how I'm able to make my CRM talk to my uh, data cloud output data cloud segment and take an action on top of it. So that's how we can have data share targets or activation targets work side by side.
Thanks, Kash. And I also see some questions about data space, what it is and what it can do, and also the difference between data stream and data lake objects. Just a note to everyone, we will cover these in the next sessions in detail. But Kash, if you want to just touch upon these, so um, each one of us will get an understanding of what these are. You can cover it briefly here.
Yep, sure. So basically, if I come over back to this data spaces, so like this was covered day before when Deepti was running this. So I just taken the slide from from her session. So basically, what is data space? When you want to do data cloud implementation for multiple brands, regions, departments, and you want to like kind of do the segregation of those processes and data, you can use data spaces. And then what would happen is that you can actually go in and try to leverage the single instance and then partition your data across that particular instance. So basically the data would be there on that particular DB, but you will not have an access to the other orgs or the other say like brands or regions based upon your permission sets. So like this is a very simplistic way to talk about data spaces. On the other hand, what is like data lake objects? So I have data streams, and as soon as I sync or create a data stream, I suppose I just go into new and yeah, yep. Okay. So if I just go here and say like from CRM, I would want to bring in some object. So here I will choose that object, and there will be a DLO created for that particular object. That data lake object will have the kind of fields I had uh, looped in here, and that would be kind of used for creating my data lake objects fields. And suppose I had 1000 records in that particular object, I'll have 1000 records coming up in that certain DLO as well. So that's how it kind of works. So maybe I'm just trying to find a better way to some good object which I can choose and show you as an example by streaming it, by syncing it right away. Can we choose network member? I just saw network member. Yeah. Yes. Next. So it is asking for me that, okay, what kind of profile engagement and all. So if it's like a human, I'm going to use a profile. If it's about some sort of engagement, kind of a way that, email opens, clicks, all those things. So it would be engagement category. Other maybe like, some sort of unstructured data kind of uh, which you want to bring in, you can use the other category. Suppose I choose profile and then go next. Okay, so I just need to go and change the field name, but as soon as once I do this, I will be able to, bring all these 29 fields into the DLO which I'm creating, and then I can take it up from there. And then once I have got a certain DLO, which I have got, say like here on all DLOs, I'll actually be able to figure out all those records coming in. I can go and refresh my DLOs. They are kind of, scheduled also, like for say like CRM happening at every 12 hours, 4 hours like that. And you can either set up a refresh, or you can go and do it by yourself also as we go in. So like there are like multiple ways to go and refresh your data lake objects and keep this count updated. And once you are into data model objects, you can go in and try to uh, look into, okay, how I can go and kind of map the objects to one another. Again, what all I would have synced or imported into my previous steps. So this is how we are kind of looking at data lake object, data model objects and all. And this is what is helping us build our unified profiles, which we can use for segmentation or data share or data uh, act activation targets. Yeah, cool. I think this answers like the uh, top level view on data cloud. But then like how Josna was mentioning, we have got very specific sessions coming up in like next couple of days, and that will help you do a deep dive on each one of these kind of topics I was talking about. So those will be again a good way for you to go and understand better around what more can we do with data lake objects, data model objects, or how to do the mapping, etc. So yeah.
Adding to that, so we have multiple sessions planned for the ingestion itself. So How to
Correct.
ingest data from the CRM or from the Commerce Cloud or from the MCP. So there are multiple sessions planned as well. So these sessions are like certification focused, and we will cover the overview, and where applicable, we will cover the demo. And the detailed demos will be included in the deep dive sessions going forward in the next upcoming sessions.
Yeah, correct. Great.
Go ahead.
So great. So just moving forward, so now we've seen the demo, and probably what I'm going to do is like talk more about what is that an admin does, and in fact, what are the multiple personas within Data Cloud. So there are like multiple kind of personas, admin, database specialist, marketer, and all. And there are like multiple kind of tasks which one can do. For our today's session, to be more precise, for an admin, they have to know about data connection and data streams, like how I was showing the setup screen, and connect with the CRM, Marketing Cloud, and all, create data streams, create activation targets. That is, in my case, it was the retail view in Marketing Cloud. And lastly, do CRM enrichment through data actions. So now my lead or my contact in the CRM will be, be updated based upon some sort of unified profile activity happening on the data cloud, or some sort of calculated insights uh, happening on the data cloud, and I can go and update the same onto CRM. But apart from that, also there are like multiple roles available or personas available with the data cloud, and they take an action based upon how it is now, like what kind of action they need to be doing, uh, maybe to kind of answer uh, the kind of use cases which arise out of data cloud, and then which arise out of that data cloud use case. And then we have got, again, based upon the admin, user, and other kind of persona, what kind of permission sets you have, which is like full access, view only, or no access, based upon the kind of role you're kind of coming up from. So like you can see that Datadog admin has got access to most of the objects or most of these functionalities. For marketing kind of what to say, the functionalities which is like doing the segmentation and activation, uh, the access is not there. It is with the data cloud for marketing admin. But then largely it has the way to actually go in and answer uh, the all the use cases which can arise out of it. And this eye chart gives you a good way to understand what are the permission sets for these multiple personas as we go in. Okay. Now, as we go, what are the first step which we have to follow into data cloud? Let's just go and look into it. That is like, once you are just getting started with your data cloud org instance, you'll be seeing these kind of screens. We've already seen that, okay, this is how it looks like into the actual org, uh, like here. So the same manner, you can actually go in and you can choose your particular uh, login, and go in and finally go and set up your data cloud, and follow a couple of steps in order to make your data cloud connected with your marketing instance or CRM instance and all. So there are like multiple steps which an admin has to keep in mind. And this is when I was reading the exam guide on Trailhead for Data Cloud, it was like one of the topics that, okay, what are the kind of various maintenance admin tasks? So this gives you a good idea, which means that, okay, as a data cloud admin, I need to create packages in data cloud so that I can, export, import my implementation, my configuration to other orgs. I have to create lightning flows so that I can, uh, with those flows, go and refresh my DLOs at a timely basis, or a click of button from CRM. I can kind of, do multiple activities using flows into my data cloud instance. I can create reports and dashboards to visualize multiple objects like what you can see on data streams, segments, and IRs. I can go and talk about sharing rules as an admin so that I can only create, can only see those kind of segments for which I have access to, like based upon those objects. I need to understand on how to organize those lightning record pages of unified individual record and all in my Lightning app builder. So it is nothing but okay, if when you go into those data explorer and profile explorer, what all kind of the unified individual record which comes up and the contacts, what you can see back on uh, your Lightning app. And lastly, if your ability to understand, to create or manage data spaces. So if you have to create data spaces, you need to understand that, okay, what is that we can do with a default data space? What is the restriction of going and creating more data spaces, so and so forth. So these are those kind of admin tasks which have to keep in mind as we go in. Okay. Uh, More if we talk about the data cloud admin, as an admin, you need to understand that how you can talk more about the error notifications. So one thing is, suppose you have set up a DMO and there is some sort of a failure happening, that no segment is not being able to publish or some ingestion activity is failing. How we can understand that, okay, we can get a notification of a certain error situation. So using Salesforce flows, you can do it. And these are the kind of objects which are being supported right now to create those flows. And basically in those flows, you can go and create a flow builder and put some sort of entry conditions that, okay, if my last published status is error and published date is changed, then on a certain email address, fire an email, or inform me through one or the other way for this kind of error notification. So you can set up flow notifications within Data Cloud and go and make it work uh, with your kind of errors happening and be alerted on the real time. Then you can actually create reports and dashboards also. So we had kind of seen that, okay, we have certain kind of ways to go and have a look at those reports. So maybe if I can just show you one more time. So if I go into the data cloud setup in the and search for reports, so I can access them from here, my reports. And with these reports, I can actually all folders, new report. So yeah, I can actually go in and have a look on my like multiple DMOs and their association with contact point, email, phone, address. So to go and run those certain reports, start those reports, add rows, add columns, and then get started, something like this. So if I just add unified individual ID, get all the individual ID and city, there we go. And I would want to also have a look at the product they have purchased or the points they have. So, so you can see that I can, get the data coming from multiple data streams, put them together into a report, and probably run that report to find out, okay, where is that, like who are those individuals or unified individuals having points more than 3,000. So that would be one other way for you to go and segment or filter out those records and move forward. Okay. Then we're coming back. Okay, before I move in, let me just have a look at questions because we just covered data cloud admin. So just
I
have a
see one, Gaj, so regarding the APIs, the API names, Are they created dynamically or when we map the object or when they're created?
Yeah. So are you talking about the object API name, like these ones, right?
Yeah, I think so. The API
Yeah.
names are there.
So okay. Yeah. So just for all, so yeah, so am I seeing this correctly? The API names are assigned dynamically when mapping the fields between the two sources. So yeah, so basically what's happening here is that if I look into all DMOs, it will show you the all the DMOs, which are kind of standard data model objects, which come with Data Cloud. So you might be or might not be using, or obviously, based upon your use case, you will be using a few of them. So like for my use case, I actually used the case data model object, but I didn't use the other ones, the campaign or the case update and all. So once I had used into my DMO, I was able to go in and get into and get connected with a certain data stream and with a data lake object which I have ingested. Now these names are coming up by default through my or for my standard uh, DMOs. So like you can see, even before, I mean, without being created, we have these. If I would be creating any kind of derived or bridge, then probably there I have the way to actually go and put a name across those certain object labels as I go in. But yes, we have got standard DMOs, and then we use a fraction of those based upon what kind of data streams we are kind of ingesting in and we are working with. So if I, yeah, so I can go and create new data model object from scratch also. Suppose my client had a very different kind of a data design, which is not a part of the one which is given by default or standard. I can actually go and create a custom data model object also to address those specific requirements. Or I can use the standard ones, which have their API names given, as we can see on the screen. Yeah, great.
I think that is all, Gash.
And
Yeah.
so I think this is the one data lake objects also I have covered. Canceling this, all objects. Um, loyalty program member. We just want to show the mapping, how it looks like for DLOs to DMOs. So these are my data lake objects. So I got loyalty program member from my CRM, and just to give a bird eye view. So this is my loyalty program member on the left. These are multiple data model objects on the right. This would be my uh, loyalty program member ID, which acts like, one key from the left, and I can actually go and find this particular key or this ID into my multiple other, yeah. So this will become the contact point address ID based upon if I don't have the address field here, the email ID and individual ID and all. So with this, I can actually go and check that, okay, from which particular field this is being connected. So in the mapping, we are actually connecting it to the DMOs and supplying them the correct or these sufficient information about that particular category, like for address, email, phone, currency, loyalty program member. This is the standard DMO, which I was showing you early on. The party identification, the voucher one. So with this, now if I'm getting loyalty program member from CRM, suppose I'm getting loyalty object from S3 bucket, from SAP, from any other system, I'll be mapping them in the same manner to my DMOs. So now my DMOs have all the information, and when I will be running my unified individual IRs, resolution, they will be able to combine them and bring one unified individual like Gaj as like one unified individual who might be present across the S3 bucket, across the CRM, across couple of other places also. But still, I will be just coming up as a one unified individual at the end of the day with the help of this mapping, which I'm doing here. Yeah. So how it shows the primary key? Does it show the foreign key too? So basically, this is like a foreign key concept only, which means that I have if I just take up this small example of contact point address, so I chose the address shopper. So this is was my one of the field and loyalty program member, which I mapped to address line one. Then I choose city with city loyalty program member ID for my contact point address ID because I didn't had a better address field for that. Then country to country and loyalty program member. So party is that field which kind of understands and tells me that okay, which is my unique identifier or for that particular record. So loyalty program member ID is a unique identifier for loyalty program member object. So this way we're kind of syncing them and we are telling the contact point address that for your party, uh, always go and check loyalty program member ID. So that way we are actually going in and working out. There are like more unmapped fields, but these are the ones which are which are like essential for kind of mapping and creating uh, our use case, and hence we got started from there. So from DLOs to from DSOs, which is like here from DSOs to DLOs to DMOs. This is that transition point wherein we have got the DLO and DMO. And once the DMO is created, till individual we have got the DMOs created. We will take it up and create the unified individual by running on top of all these individuals. So where my individual was, I just saw it right now. Yeah, here it is. So if I've got just to put into very simple fashion, if I have got 500 CRM records and 200 S3 bucket records, I'll have total 700 individuals. And if all out of those 500 and 200, all those 200 are part of my website shoppers, I'll get 500 unified profile, not 700. So like that it works. But okay, I'm maybe going a step forward. You'll see all of this into much more detail in your coming sessions. So coming back into the admin kind of stuff, we'll focus on packaging and data kits. But I suppose now people would have got much more clear visibility on like how things are happening in data cloud in terms of DLOs, DMOs, and getting one unified ID out of it. Yeah, great. So the second last topic, packaging and data kits, and then comes API, which is the last topic. So making sure we are on time, which is to kind of complete this session. So if you want to go in and kind of recreate our configuration into some other org, there are like two ways to do so. Data kits and standard packages. Data kits are used for B2C commerce or CRM streams, and with any data model that is added to a data kit. And standard packages allows you to package your calculated insights, S3 bucket data streams, their mappings, ingestion API streams, and custom data model objects and all. So based upon your configuration, you may need to leverage both of these and when promoting to your production as we go in. So this is happening on the CRM, not on data cloud setup. So on CRM, you'll have package manager, and you can create new package and jump into setup and click new. and you can go out, create those setup component types you can choose, and you can go out and deploy those package uh, and you'll get your installation URL, and you can log into your target data cloud instance. So you have to log out from all your data cloud instances before trying to deploy the package to ensure that you don't deploy to the wrong instance when you click on this. Yeah. On the other hand, like you also have got data kits, right? So if I go into data kits, this allows certain objects to be packaged from within the data cloud application. They are like little more limited. That is, they're only allowing for Commerce Cloud, B2C commerce, and CRM streams. But you can include your data into a standard package and get up from there. So since you are getting these slides, so maybe I'm going a bit fast, but you can always access these slides to get these screenshots to see that, okay, how it's working out. But basically, you're just going in, creating new data kits, and uh, creating those data stream your objects, and publishing them into a package manager and deploying them. Then comes the APIs and Data Explorer and Profile Explorer. So this slide was shown by Deepti when she was talking about home org and non-home org. So uh, this is an important topic. So I'll just take 1 more minute to talk on this again. So you can have data cloud or your data org into the data cloud org, wherein data orgs for any new or existing core platform that exists into managing your customer data, wherein you would want to have a separate data cloud org when you want to have a system of reference. So mostly, most out of the box CDP only exists in the CDP home org. So I mean, like a lot of functionalities which are like natively possible are there when the part of the own home org. And one of those home org functionality, the Data Explorer and Profile Explorer, what we were seeing. So if you would want to enable the exploration of DLOs, DMOs, and CIs, you need to go and look into Data Explorer, like how I was showing you the demo in the beginning. Or if you would want to go and see more into your unified individual profiles, you can go and look into the Profile Explorer. So I think that's where we'll be actually be able to go and make use of the Data Cloud Home or functionalities and look in there. Yeah.
Gaj, I think you went on mute.
Yeah, I actually went on mute. There was some like sound noise coming from
Oh,
outside, so I
okay.
actually went on mute. Uh, yeah, we would want to deploy a data plate to one like own org. That's one question. Suppose you are having a default data space and you have got one more data space, and you would want to stage the configuration from one data space to the another one. Suppose that was your sandbox data space, and this is your prod data space. So you might want to use data kits, or you have got two orgs and you want to like move the configuration from one org to the another org. So like there are customers who have got two enterprise data cloud orgs. So there again, data kits are useful. Yeah, great. And coming to the Data Explorer and Profile Explorer, yes, we have already seen it in action that they enable exploration of DLOs, DMOs, or unified individual profiles. Right. I'll just take a pause for 1 minute because of the noise coming in.
We don't hear any noise, Gajendra, so we are good. I think I
Oh,
see
is it?
questions regarding.
Okay, great. The noise cancellation is working
Yeah,
fine
working.
because it's morning time, so like a lot of people are coming by to the street, so I
Yeah.
think that's why. But good, we are not getting any sound, so kudos to Zoom.
Yeah. So
So
I have a question, if I can ask it here. It's about the data kit that you just discussed. Why would one deploy a data kit to its own org?
Yeah. So I was just mentioning this that there could be situation that you have got two data cloud orgs. Their data kit are important. So I would want to move it from one data cloud instance to the another data cloud instance. So there it would be useful. And then once I've got that package ready, I can just go into the other org and then import it over there.
Got
So so many customers use that because we don't have a specific sandbox kind of a SKU available. In my understanding, this could be changing. In fact, this has changed. The sandbox was released. Sorry, I will take my words back. This sandbox was released quite recently in the last release, or maybe it is coming in this release. But till now, what was happening was we used to take two orgs and kind of export the configuration from one org and then take through data into the other orgs. So that's where data kits would be useful.
that helps, Gaj.
Great. So on the data explorer and profile explorer side, so this talks more about the definition of it and what more can you get out of it. We're just showing it here. So like for data explorer, like you can see on the top. So for individual, we can actually go and see, okay, like what kind of information is coming out. This is very useful sometimes for troubleshooting of your mapping, because what you want to do is you would want to create some test records and see that they're actually being unified how the way you would want to. So you would want to make sure that, okay, you're getting the correct product coming up here, you're getting the right set of, points balance coming up here and all those things. So to check that, okay, is your mapping is working fine. Data Explorer and Profile Explorer go, hand in hand, are like super useful. And you can actually go, like it says, to drill down into a specific unified profile. So I can choose like one unified profile, go into the link table, then go into the individual table and see that, okay, we're getting all the data and if we're able to aggregate that data together based upon that profile. Yeah. So one of the last topic was APIs. So this is at a very high level, and this was a part of our, in-person workshop we did. So one of the engineering team lead helped us with this session. So this is coming from his deck. So it's like more shared under NDA, more because more like an API kind of topic. So, nutshell, there are like two kind of APIs: Connect APIs and Direct API. So, Connect APIs is where you can use the platform functionalities, where everything is routed through platform, through flows, Apex, Lightning. Direct APIs where your ingestion APIs are exposed directly on Hyperforce for high volume and throughput access. Then you also have got the enterprise REST APIs, which are more like platform integrated for S objects. And then we have got metadata API. So they're like four kind of families. But then Connect APIs is something what we are using a lot within Data Cloud. So to give some sort of analogy with MuleSoft, there we have got system APIs and process APIs. We also have these APIs here, and then Data Cloud Connect API is a process API, because it kind of encapsulate all the Data Cloud business logic. And this is where our customers and ISV partners can build on top of Data Cloud. In order to like know more about you know the documentation, this particular URL is like super useful. Connect REST API production. Yeah, something like this. So this is like super useful to actually go in and talk more about talk more about Connect APIs and what more can you do on top of it. I also look into this kind of resource on Postman. So basically, what they have done is they have actually put together the direct I'm sorry. They've put together some documentation and collection of requests for Salesforce Cloud for Salesforce Data Cloud APIs. So this is again a good way to get started on Data Cloud APIs, and because we are so used to of going through Postman and all that syntax and formation. I think this resource will be pretty useful for everyone as well. So what I'll do is I'll actually take this, go to chat, and send it to everyone. Because this is not a part of my slide deck, so maybe you can take it from the chat box and like open and keep it bookmarked somewhere. These links you'll be getting it from our slide. So basically, if I come back to the API topic, Connect API is something what we are actually using quite extensively to kind of connect data cloud to flows and make it work. Even like for your non-home org access, where we can't natively use some of the functionalities, using Connect APIs, we are able to go and kind of populate multiple fields back into CRM. So that's where we are kind of working like, yeah. Okay, so maybe I got a question and a good time to show the slide also. So I'll just read out this question. If in case MC instance not connected, can we ingest data from MC instance to data cloud via API? It's like calling data cloud API from marketing cloud. So, I mean, I think the bigger use case here would be, just make this normal size. I think the bigger use case here would be is that coming back to data cloud setup. Like for my case, I was able to get in the we can connect one marketing cloud enterprise ID to data cloud. Okay, so we can't like connect uh, multiple data cloud multiple marketing cloud instances into data cloud. So if I look here, I have option to like choose one and connect the BUs and all that I've done. But for CRM, I can actually create multiple like orgs. So like your use case would be uh, valid, and like someone said yes. I mean basically the end of the day you would have to bear the API cost and would have to go through the API limits and throughput, because you're trying to bring in data. It will be coming into some other data lake object or some other data stream object in fact, but that is possible. So you can get only one marketing cloud, so that's why we would have to go through the API route to get more marketing cloud enterprise accounts connected. But if it is Salesforce CRM, then we can have multiple connected or multiple get connected to data cloud instance. Yeah, good. Can we connect more than one view of one marketing cloud instance to one city? Uh, just can create. If I just go and part, yeah, I can create. If I can just, I don't know why it is coming up lock for me, but I can go and create more business units. Like I have got a retail view, like a BU named as retail BU connected as for the target business unit. But yes, you can do it. Yeah. Cool. So think this gives us a nice way to kind of conclude the session to talk about that. Okay, what all data can I bring in from Marketing Cloud, all these bundles, and we can actually get the data back from Data Cloud into Marketing Cloud as well. So yeah, thanks. So over to you, and yeah, thanks all for being so patiently be present during the session and asking great questions. So thanks a lot. I know because this is just the beginning for this boot camp. There will be like many more sessions coming up, and I highly encourage people to kind of join the sessions live, because I have this bad habit of, bookmarking some sessions and thinking that I will attend this later, but that never happens in my case. So if you do it now, it actually happens, and you'll be able to make the best out of the Q&A happening, or we ask your questions live as well. But over to you, Joseph, now talking more about the, next sessions coming up and any other info you want to share with the folks here on the call.
Thank you very much, Gajendra. So this is very helpful. And admin section, regardless of the certification, it's very important for everyone who is using Data Cloud to be knowledgeable of all the admin topics. Thanks for covering it very well, and thanks for answering all the questions. So as per the recordings, we have all the recordings shared on the YouTube channel. You can find it using @MC Learning Camp. We are also sharing all the slide decks along with the videos. The next two sessions, the next week, Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Elliot Harper joining us to dive into the data cloud in data ingestion and the data modeling. So be sure to attend the next sessions. And as we discussed prior in the chat before, we will have the quiz for today's quiz. For the last session's quiz, which is supposed to happen today. I will post it in the Slack group, and I will also include that on the YouTube. And we have a few more sessions lined up for the deep dive sessions, and Dash is going to join us for the session on data cloud for architects. So we'll be glad, Dash, to have you again. And thanks again, Dash, for joining us and sharing your insights.
Thanks, Jyotsna, for all the opportunities and organizing such boot camps. So this is like really helpful for all of us. So yeah, thank you.
You are the first level information givers for us. So whatever you share is really helpful. Thank you. And
Okay.
thanks, everyone. We'll see you again in the next session. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.